Yo, what up? It's Carter from the Peekaboo Boxing Academy, and I just finished up a great night of training here at Customato's Gym in Catskill, New York, and I wanted to shoot into a topic that was super important before I got out of here, and it's one that, I get a lot of questions about, and that is, what is Mike Tyson's workout routine, okay? Carter, I want to know Mike's workout routine so that I can, get the same results that Mike gets. I really want to know, and, well, the answer that I have for you, it might surprise you. It might not be, what you were expecting, but it's one that I think is essential for you to know if you want to progress in the cuss style, the Peekaboo boxing style, okay? So for those of you who are new here, who do not know me, my name's Carter Weber. I train fighters here at Customato's Gym in Catskill, New York, and I was personally mentored in how to teach the cuss style, otherwise known as the Peekaboo boxing style, online by fighters who actually grew up with Mike Tyson and who were trained by the late, great Customato and the great Teddy Atlas, okay? So this question is one of paramount importance to your development as a fighter, because if you do not know the answer to it, it's actually gonna cap your ability to excel as a fighter, okay? So I'm gonna answer that, I'm gonna go in depth with you, all that and more in tonight's video. As always, let's crack into it.
Fighter is gonna learn how to hit and not get hit, at the same time be excited. That's what professional boxing is. You gotta be clever, you gotta be smart, and not get hit. And when you're able to do this, you're a fighter.
All right, so what is Mike Tyson's workout routine? What is his routine? What's the mythical, magical routine that's just gonna give me the same results as Mike? Listen, I don't know. I don't know what Mike's workout routine is, okay? Nobody in this gym knows what Mike's workout routine is, all right? We all know that he worked really hard, okay? We all know that he worked really hard. We all know that he did thousands of calisthenic reps a day, when he was training. And, many of the fighters who grew up with Mike and actually lived in the house with Mike can report that he would be up early in the morning, shadow boxing in the attic while watching old fight films, waking them up, They're trying to get some bed, trying to get some sleep. They're trying to wake up and go on a run the next morning at 4 a.m. Mike's already up at 3, and he's already woken them up from shadow boxing, all right? George here, who you've seen in some of the videos, he said that, they were trying to sleep before one of their amateur fights, and Mike was up the entire night shadow boxing, and George couldn't fall asleep as a result, all right? So I know that you want to know because, listen, it's just the logical, rational thing to ask. If you want to get the same results as somebody, you want to model them. You want to follow in their footsteps, right? You don't necessarily want to be them, but you just want to follow in their footsteps. It makes sense. The question makes sense. And it's a question that I used to ask all of the time because I thought it mattered so much. What's the neck bridges? What's the number of the calisthenics? What's the spacing in between them? Listen, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tell you the truth. All right? It doesn't matter. You don't need Mike Tyson's workout routine to succeed at the cuss style, okay? This is one of the misconceptions that are constantly peddled online about this style because it hasn't been taught in its purity for over 40 years, okay? Since Teddy Atlas left the gym back in 1984, all right? And the misnomer is that you need to have a Mike Tyson build to do the Peekaboo style, You need to be short, you need to be stocky. It's for guys that need to get underneath people. People don't know what they're talking about, okay? I actually just did an interview with Maine Moore, who trained with Mike growing up, was trained by Teddy and Cuss. And, he said it better than I'll say it. I'll actually just play it right in here. Some people online, they think that, this is something that gets repeated a lot. You can't be tall and do that. It's for, you have to be like Mike Tyson. You have to be built like Mike and short and stocky. I know that there were people of all different shapes and sizes here that did that style. What's your opinion on that statement?
Those people who make those statements, in my opinion, only want to be right. They want to be right so they can say what they want. We all have the right to have our own thoughts and opinions. I disagree with that 100%, and I'll say it to your camera. I disagree with that 100%. I'm a tall person, and I was tall for my age when I was young. I had a size 8 foot at the age of 11, so I was tall and skinny, and I learned to slip and weave. And if you watch me now, growing up, and you'll see me doing it. It's what you want to learn and how bad you want to learn something. That's like, andiamo adesso capisci tu amore, that's some Italian. Some lady I knew told me those words.
Yeah.
I learned those words. Do I know what they all mean? Yes, now that I'm older, but the point is, you can learn whatever you want to learn if you put your mind to it and you're willing to learn. So I disagree with that statement.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion.
100%, as you younger kids say nowadays. 100% disagree with that.
All right, so there you have it. You heard it from, the man himself. Doesn't matter if you're tall, doesn't matter if you're short, anybody can use it. And it doesn't matter if you have a build like Mike Tyson, okay? There were plenty of kids here, other than Mike, that actually used the cuss style and were very successful at it, really successful at it. In fact, many of these, guys that train here, they were national champions, all right? And that's the thing. You don't need Mike's build, okay? And the other thing is that, Mike, you have to understand, Mike was a freak of nature when he came to this gym. He was 190 pounds of muscle at 12 years old, and he was 190 pounds of fast twitch muscle. You may not have that build, okay? You might just not have that build. And I remember when I was younger, I used to be in denial. I used to think to myself, no, I want the Mike Tyson workout routine. Just do what he does. Everything's just a limiting belief. Just do what he does. Nobody's willing to do that stuff. That's why they don't look like Mike. I'm willing to do it. I just want to know. It's a limiting belief. I want to do it. Listen, I remember it was in high school. I went to my health teacher, okay, after school, late period. And I went into his office and I said, listen, can I get your help with something? I want to look like Mike Tyson. I love boxing. I love the peekaboo style. We started talking about boxing and stuff. And I said, I just want to look like Mike. And he said, listen, Carter. He looked at me and said, listen, Carter, you are not going to look like Mike Tyson. And I thought he was hating on me. I literally thought that he was hating on me. I took it personally. What do you mean I'm not going to look like Mike? Yeah, whatever. This guy's just hating on me. That's what I thought. And then I would go home and I would burn myself out by trying to do hundreds of calisthenics, and then I would do my workout. And obviously, I didn't end up looking like Mike. And interestingly enough, you want to know an interesting fact? Floyd Mayweather, he had a very similar workout routine to Mike Tyson. He would do thousands of calisthenics a day as well. Does Floyd Mayweather look like Mike Tyson? No, he doesn't, okay? This is obvious stuff, but again, it's stuff that we don't want to look at because we think to ourselves, if I can just get the workout routine, then I'll just look just like him and I'll be able to be like that, right? But here's the thing, and I need you to focus for this. I need you to pay attention for this. You need to graduate from trying to be a Mike Tyson copycat, and the first imitation is all right, but to truly step into your confidence, you have to graduate from that step. Okay, you have to graduate from imitation. You have to realize that you can be an amazing fighter no matter what size you are, no matter what weight class you are, no matter what your build looks like. That doesn't matter. Okay? You can be an amazing, incredible fighter who's hard to hit and who's exciting, who's aggressive, and who gets spectacular knockouts. You can do all that stuff without looking like Mike. Okay? Now, let's apply some common sense here. What calisthenics do matter in boxing? Well, strengthen your core up. Right? So that you can take body shots better. Maybe you want to, strengthen your neck so that you can absorb punches a little bit better. Not that we want to get hit, but, you get hit. It's boxing. And believe it or not, though, a lot of knockouts are a result of nerve in your jaw. All right? So there's sometimes you just have, they say it's a glass chin, but it's like, listen, you can't do anything about it. If you got if that nerve is big, it's just easier to knock you out. It is what it is. But people really don't pay attention to that. They pay attention to your heart more than anything. They pay attention to your heart. But yeah, maybe you want to strengthen your neck up, your quads, so you can get more power, right? Maybe you want to strengthen those back muscles up so you can get more power into your shots as well that way. There's different exercises you can do that fall within the realm of common sense. Okay, those are calisthenics that you should do. All right, and the fighters here, they all did calisthenics, okay? But they weren't doing hundreds of them. All right, they weren't doing thousands of them like Mike. Nobody here was doing that. And let me tell you something really interesting about that. I'm not a scientist, right? I'm not whatever you'd call it, the person that deals with this type of stuff. But from what I have heard, and don't take my word for it, look this up for yourself, you have something called the central nervous system, okay? And what this is basically, it's what inhibits or allows you to have maximum output in your workouts. If you burn yourself out, you're going to tax your central nervous system too much, and you're not going to be able to get the most out of your workouts. So you're going to come into the gym, you're going to want to work hard, but because you're over here trying to do the mythical Mike Tyson workout routine, doing thousands of sit-ups and crunches and everything a day because you want to look like Mike, you're actually hurting your boxing ability because you're not giving your body time to rest. It's better to just do some quality calisthenics, let your central nervous system rest and reset so that when you come in, you can get the most out of your boxing workout, which is actually what matters. It's actually sharpening the sword, which is your boxing ability, okay? And that's really what matters. Your boxing ability is what matters. It's not your ability to do 1,000 sit-ups or 1,000 squats, okay? So that's really all there is to it, all right? So just keep some of these things in mind and just realize that, you know, the Mike Tyson workout routine, it's not a necessary, it's not a must, okay? You don't need to do it. If you want to work that hard, that's fine. And Mike was extremely determined. He's extremely determined, all right? And that's just why he pushed himself in that way. If you eventually get to a point where you can push yourself that way, go for it. But just keep in mind that he was a genetic freak of nature that weighed 190 pounds at 12 years old and was pure fast twitch muscle fiber. His speed was God-given, okay? His speed was God-given for his weight. I'm not saying that he didn't build his speed up. I'm not saying that he didn't build his ability up, because when he came to the gym, nobody thought that he was going to be world champion. Only Cuss thought that. And I just did my interview with Maine Moore, and he said the same thing. He said, none of us thought that Mike was going to be world champion. And when Mike came in here, he wasn't a god. He just looked like a normal kid sparring. He, you know, I've even heard people say he didn't even really look that good when he came in, right? So don't think to yourself, you know, don't get down on yourself over it. No, there's still, listen, even if you don't have the genetic predisposition that Mike had, at least, you know, you can have you can find confidence in the fact that he's human. He started out looking normal, okay? And he built himself up. So you can build yourself up in a similar way. Don't worry if you have the same body type or the same workout as him, all right? Everything that matters, we're covering here on this channel. All right, it's the actual sharpening of the sword that is your boxing ability, your fight IQ, your ring generalship, you know, not just being tough, but being smart and tough, things that I cover in other videos, okay? So I got to get out of here, but I wanted to make a very concise, to-the-point video explaining this, all right? Because like I said, if you are waiting and waiting and waiting to get all the pieces to the puzzle before you can commit yourself and have conviction in what you're doing, you're capping your ability as a fighter, okay? Do the stuff on this channel, take it to the moon. You will see results from it, okay? So, I want to thank you so much for being here tonight, all right? As always, I will see you in the next video.